will Sol become eventually obsolete like everything? But at the moment, it's on an insane growth path, and the more adoption, the longer the life cycle, the Lindy effect. On top of that, the tech stack is not stagnant. It's constantly evolving with components being improved all the time, e.g. FD, DZ, and more to come. Would it be plausible that Sol actually has a way longer lifestyle than most people think? Similar to companies like Visa or fundamental network protocols like TCP/IP. And by the way, Kukin, this is one of the very deep questions that came in this week, which I love because this is exactly the stuff that I think about. And there's so much to this. So let's take a minute and dive off because there's a million lessons in here. First of all, let's talk about TCP/IP. And the TCP/IP is basically the backbone of the internet communication system, powers the internet. Why has it lasted so long? Well, it doesn't need major changes. It's that kind of one and done type of thing. Solana, on the other hand, is a newer technology competing with many others, murderer's row of layer ones. So it has to keep improving to stay relevant. And that makes it more like maybe Visa, which is focused on applications. And Visa is a payment system that's been around for decades, has lasted so because it's widely used. There's nothing better. And it works well with government rules, and it benefits from having tons and tons of users. Solana is similar because it also helps people move money quickly and cheaply, backbone of DeFi, etc. But it isn't part of a regulated system. So it faces more legal and political challenges. So that's kind of like the TCP/IP Visa, but I want to go deeper than that because let's talk about some of the stuff you mentioned. This is why, a couple of things before I get into the technology, you did mention these things. Their commitment to technological evolution is a key factor. So I'll give you an example. Sometimes people would build a chain to compete with Ethereum 6 or 7 years ago. Hey, Ethereum does 15 TPS. I'm going to build a chain that does 20 TPS. And that way I'm going to beat Ethereum. Think Cardano. That doesn't work. Okay. You got to reinvent the game, and then you need to perpetually improve. Okay. And that's one of the things that Solana are doing. They were the fastest chain, and they said, we need to be faster. We need less latency, more TPS. And hence, FireDancer was built, developed by Jump Trading, a new validator client that does more than 1 million TPS. And it uses C, so it can't pull over any bugs from the previous code base. And it also uses Quick and a whole bunch of cryptographic verification and all this stuff. And this helps stabilize the network, decentralize the network, and handle that 1 million TPS, which will be required as a machine to support the entire planet. Okay? All the humans on the earth and stock exchanges and stuff like that. DZ zones, that's the data zones. They were less prominent in recent reports, but they are so important because they really help scalability and efficiency. And again, to be the backbone of global finance, the tokenization of everything, real world assets, etc. And that's critical. And other stuff that they've done, like state compression for NFTs, have made them the leader in the NFT space too, because they can do more, better, cheaper, faster. And they have an integrated stack. But I want to talk a bit about the technology. And this is kind of probably one of the most important parts. Actually, sequence out a slide. Before we get to the final conclusion, this is interesting because I recall doing a number of podcasts with Mert. And he always referred to Elon Musk and Tesla. And I'm like, I like that. I like that they're aware of that because there's three things that I think are very similar to how Tesla operates and how Solana operates. One is rapid iteration, okay? They don't make the best thing and then stay stagnant, or they don't try to copy somebody else. Okay, Tesla, for example, doesn't benchmark itself against Ford and GM or Ethereum or anything like this, okay? They build the world's best-selling car, and it can't be touched by any other car in the world. And then they build a new version, and they make it 50% better. They didn't need to do that, but they can iterate at speed. This is the same thing with Toli and FireDancer and Jump. And again, remember ADA and ETH. The goalposts have moved. Solana introduces other stuff as well, like proof of history, which is a new way of running a blockchain. And then also they think in terms of first principles. Tesla strips problems to the core rather than mimicking what other people do. Same thing with Sol. And then vertical integration as well. Tesla controls the critical tech, and so does Solana. Solana has an integrated stack like Phantom Wallet, protocol level integration, security, hardware software integration, all this type of stuff. They have these three key elements that I see. There's probably a lot more, and that's because the leadership team of Solana look to ways of winning in the technology world. Now, conclusion. As I say, everything could go to zero. The direct answer could be, there could be a kid in a basement tomorrow that uses AI to build a brand new blockchain, which is better, cheaper, faster than anything else on the planet. But that doesn't matter, because what you need is an ecosystem of developers, dApps, very integrated chain. And the most important thing, the hardest part after technology, I believe, is adoption. Again, you could have the best widget in the world, but if nobody's buying it or adopting it, it's useless. And that's where Solana also has the edge. Remember, it does 70% of all that crypto does, one chain. So we don't know what the future holds, but as long as they keep reiterating faster, better than everybody else, they don't sit on their hands, that's how they stay ahead. They just need to be better and faster, just like Tesla. So I hope that's not too, how do I say, controversial